Alright, you ready? We're gonna try to make a cleaner take.
Alrighty, okay, so Santa's Sneaky Link, Chapter 1.
Oh, more like ho, ho, ho.
Santa said as he was admiring his pompous reflection in his tall cheval mirror. Mrs. Claus didn't like it when he went into town, but she's not his problem anymore. Old Saint Nick was preparing for his Sneaky Link Tinder date, making sure he looked more crisp than Christmas morning. He adjusted his leather belt and gave a cheeky wink to himself. As he slipped on his knee-high leather combat boots, he felt a wave of sluttiness overcome him. He knew that this would be his night. It was Christmas, after all. He sprayed himself with a couple pumps of his finest gingerbread cookie-scented cologne, and was off as he locked up his hotel room door. As he was putting the harnesses on his 8 flying reindeer, he thought to himself,
Wow, I really wish I could have a leather harness put on me like that.
That was one thing that he would miss about his recently departed wife. She wasn't afraid to peg the man and give him a night he would never forget. Unfortunately, she took his harness the night of the incident and hung herself with it. Not mindful, not very demure. Unfortunately, Santa did not take the assist training, so he couldn't stop her from destroying his favorite and only leather harness. Shaking off the thought of Mrs. Claus's recent suicide, his thoughts started to fill with much less traumatic, more steamy thoughts. He began picturing what his Tinder date looked like in the pictures. A tall, slender, twinkie elf with beautiful blue orbs and soft, supple skin. Almost as tempting as the tall glass of milk waiting for him in all of the homes he would visit each Christmas Eve. When he got to the restaurant to meet up with his sneaky Tinder link, he was surprised at who was sitting there waiting for him. Instead of it being a Twinkie elf like he had fantasized, it was none other than Sean Kingston sitting there. You're probably surprised to see me here, Santa baby, he said.
Surprised, but not disappointed,
Santa says, licking his lips. He takes a seat across from the pop music icon himself. I escaped jail just for you, baby girl. Sean Kingston winks at him. Santa Claus's eyes widen. He can feel his glasses fogging up.
Whoa! Oh.
Santa Claus turns to grab what looks like a list out of his sack, which he always carries around with him. His eyes glaze over the words for a while, but then meet back at Sean Kingston's once more.
I see you've been a very naughty boy this year,
Santa said with a jolly grin. Santa reaches over the table and gently caresses Sean Kingston's arm. He's about to caress more, but before his hand is able to go much farther, someone new barges into the restaurant and walks towards Santa and his new boy toy. Who's this? Sean Kingston asks, ripping his hand away from Santa's grasp. His boyfriend, the thin, skinny twink answers. You're dating other guys? Sean Kingston asks.
It's not like that, I promise.
Santa tries to defend himself. You're telling me lies? Oh, I can't believe what I'm seeing with my eyes. Sean Kingston angrily stands up from the table. How bad can I be? The twink smirks at Santa.
Shut up, Onesie. You always ruin everything, you know that, right?
Santa shouts. Sean Kingston starts to leave.
Where are you going, baby?
Santa calls out to him. You're way too beautiful, girl. That's why it'll never work. You'll have me suicidal. Sean Kingston starts bursting into tears.
Suicidal? Oh, no, baby. Don't say that. We can safety plan.
Santa tries to persuade him to stay. And now we're fussing and fighting. Please tell me why I am feeling slighted. And I don't know how to make it better. Sean Kingston cries, tears pouring out of his eyes like Niagara Falls. Santa Claus turns red with fury, and he can see the pain in his beloved baddie Sean Kingston's eyes. His eyes turn to the Onceler.
That's it. You're getting coal in your stocking this year.
You could almost see steam piping out of his ears as he wrapped his arm around Sean Kingston's shoulder, providing him comfort. He didn't want Sean Kingston to face the same fate as his late wife. Sean Kingston, wiping the tears from his eyes, looks up at Santa Claus and says something he's been hiding for quite some time. Saint Nick, I'm polyamorous. Oh, a polycule, I see. Well, I am figuring on pickering. The Onceler puts his arm around Sean Kingston. He kisses his cheek. No, baby, come here. Sean Kingston moves his cheek and gives the Onceler a big old juicy kiss on the mouth. How did someone as beautiful as you become acquainted with this oaf? The Onceler asks Sean Kingston, gesturing to Santa Claus. See, it started at the park. We used to chill after dark. Sean Kingston grabs Santa Claus's hand. Oh, when you took my heart, that's when we fell apart, 'cause we both thought that love lasts forever. It was back in 99, watching movies all the time. Oh, and I went away for doing my first crime. First crime? The Onceler smiles deviously. I like that in a man. And I never thought that we was gonna see each other. Sean Kingston starts to tear up a bit, thinking back on the painful memories of being separated from his Santa senpai. Upon hearing these two bad boys talk about their crimes and devilish deeds, Santa Claus could feel his pantaloons tighten as his wee Nor got hard. He could not resist the urge to rip it out right in the restaurant, because something you may not know about Santa Claus is that he has a huge kink for naughty listers. The waiter comes in and drops their entire order upon being absolutely flashed with the sight of jolly old St. Nick's cock and bullocks.
Seriously? Right in front of my salad?
Said the waiter. Do you kiss your mother with that mouth? The Onceler retorts, trying to defend his chunky hunky Santa baby.
You killed my mother.
The waiter says, giving the Onceler a 1,000-yard-mile stare. I don't even know you, the Onceler says. The waiter puts his hand behind his head and starts unzipping. Whoa, baby, if you're gonna start unzipping for us, at least bring us our dinner first. The Onceler smirks. The waiter finished unzipping. The Onceler stops smirking because it is revealed that the waiter was actually just the Lorax in a trench coat all along. What? How? You! The Onceler stands up and points a disapproving finger at the Lorax.
Aha! It was me all along!
The Lorax says in his short king voice. And for what it's worth, I did not kill your mother, the Onceler shouts.
Last time I saw her was with you. The two of you snuck off to a room and I heard her screaming.
The Lorax shouts back. Oh, I made her scream all right, but not from pain. The Onceler smirks.
Oh no, tell me you didn't.
The Lorax glares at him. I fucked your mom, bro, the Onceler says. The Lorax feels his entire body filled with rage and has a fucking stroke due to excess anger and shock, and he dies. Another waiter walks in and picks up the dead Lorax.
Oh, fresh Lorax! This'll make a high-quality dish for you all to enjoy.
He smiles as he brings the dead Lorax into the kitchen. Santa Claus is kind of traumatized from the situation, but the Onceler starts cackling to himself, 100% satisfied in his efforts to kill the last Lorax. Sean Kingston smells the well-seasoned Lorax flesh wafting over from the kitchen and begins to lick his lips, thinking about the rare delicacy. Santa also still has his entire cock and balls out. I can't believe the little dude is dead. Sean Kingston sighs. All this talk about death has gotten me feeling suicidal. Do you have a plan? The Onceler asks him, concerned, for he has taken the assist training and knows the signs. The waiter comes with the freshly prepared Lorax carcass and places it on the table.
Your dinner, sir.
He says,
Thank you, waiter. Oh.
Santa says,
Yes, you most certainly are.
the waiter says.
Your cock and balls are still out.
As the waiter turns to leave for the kitchen, the Onceler notices a zipper on the back of his head. He unzips it, and the waiter turns out to be the Lorax. Again.
You thought you seen the last of me, huh, punk?
The Lorax stomps onto the table and bitch slaps the Onceler. I think I'm tripping, yo. How can you be here dead on the table and also standing right here in front of us? Sean Kingston asks.
Can't get rid of me that easily.
The Lorax says. He cuts the arm off of the dead orange carcass lying on the table and devours it whole.
I do taste delicious, though.
The Onceler cuts off the other arm and eats it. You do taste pretty good. You know what would make this meal even better, though? Some kugel.
Kugel?
The Lorax asks. Ever heard of it? The Onceler smirks.
You used to call me Kugel.
The Lorax looks down sadly at the floor. He grabs a fork and starts eating more of his deliciously seasoned corpse. Santa and Sean Kingston grab forks as well, and the four of them go to town. What do you mean you used to call him Kugel? Sean Kingston asks with a mouthful of the Lorax.
Is this the angry orange X you were talking about?
Santa asks.
I always thought you used to date Donald Trump.
We did have a brief fling, yes, the Onceler says, but old Donald himself was just a rebound. Sang with that Oompa Loompa a while back. Big mistake, because the famous chocolatier Willy Wonka was always there, always watching, always watching. Suddenly, as if on cue, Willy Wonka emerges out of the bones of the Lorax carcass to reclaim the Onceler's love. Can you actually read the lines for Willy Wonka?
Hello there, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
Says the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka.
How about we all take a ride down Sean Kingston's chocolate river?
Willie says as he casually flips his cunty fuck-ass bob. Well, damn, I didn't know you were freaky like that, Willie, says Sean Kingston.
Freaky, thick, and rich.
Willie replied as he stood up on the table and started twerking his bony white ass.
All of you are invited to the chocolate factory. And by chocolate factory, I mean my greedy little chocolate beauty hall.
Willie exclaimed. Santa, Sean Kingston, and the Onceler all sit with their jaws agape. Well, there's always room for more in the polycule. The Onceler chuckled cuntily.
And I do love me some chocolate.
Santa exclaimed. To be continued. Also, wow, you can tell that I've been on tea for like 2 months because my voice be cracking.
It do. It sounds painful.
It's not painful, it's just hard to do voices right now because my voice keeps cracking like that. But I feel like it adds to it, you know?
Like, honestly, if you told me what character you were trying to play without telling me it was Sean Kingston, I would never be able to guess.
Damn.
Actually, same goes for the one.
Damn, you got me feeling suicidal. The fact that, like I said before, these walls are very thin in the dorm, so I'm sure people have probably heard this conversation happen twice. So, hopefully this reading actually worked out, because if it didn't, and this recording didn't work out, and I have to do this a third time, I will kill myself.
My throat hurts from doing the Danny DeVito voice.